Okay, how many podcasts have you actually been on? I was actually really curious, like thinking about that. I've never seen you on podcasts. I know you just were on Nick's, but how many podcasts have you actually been on?
I know I went on a podcast one time with Nate Shot and Courage, I think, like 4 years ago. It was before COVID, so yeah, probably 4 years ago. We're at 3 years in COVID now, right? Or are we in 2?
Bro, I don't know.
I think we're on 3, yeah.
We're on 3.
COVID changed my life, man.
Changed everyone's.
Yeah.
But I've been on that. That was like an official podcast I was on. I chugged like 5 coffee. I was so nervous, but I think I killed it. It was fun. And then I guess if you want to call what Nick and I do a podcast,
I mean,
what we have done as podcasts, nothing else in person. So this, Ryan, our brother, had me go on some radio show one time. It was like a podcast. I don't know who the hell I was even talking to, but like, yeah, sit here and talk in this mic. Okay, who's the audience?
Were you talking about sports?
Yes.
Oh my God, no way.
Yeah.
I need to hear this.
Yeah, it was like, I think, man, what were we doing?
Name 3 football teams.
Cowboys.
Okay. Nice. Nice, dude. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Packers.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Packers.
Wait, can you get a third one?
I want to say Rams.
That's one. Yeah.
Does that count?
Yeah, that's good.
LA
That's
Rams,
good.
yeah. Okay.
Excellent. Because I played them on NFL Blitz on the Nintendo 64.
NFL Blitz, that was a good game.
Yeah.
That was before they were the LA Rams, right?
I don't know.
That was the St. Louis Rams.
I just knew
think.
that they had a cool Ram icon. I was like, that looks cool. And they had one play that I just spammed.
That's what everyone did on NFL Blitz.
Yeah,
the deep bomb or whatever.
Well, it was Hail Mary.
Yeah.
But I didn't do that. I did Hail Mary, but then I just ran it with my QB. And I think like the AI on the defense was like, oh, they're throwing a Hail Mary, so the AI would just run really far back. But like you just run.
Wait, maybe you should coach sports. That's genius. I don't think anyone's thought of that.
Do you think as adults you would get along living together?
Personally, I do.
Yeah.
I feel like we'd probably just kind of stick to ourselves for the most part.
We've stayed in like hotels and we're pretty good to go. Dustin gets on his phone, puts on a show, falls asleep.
Yep.
I get on my phone. Like we've stayed in hotels together.
We've stayed in a trailer.
So, yeah.
But like living together, I actually feel like it would be really easy. You seem like someone that would be really easy to live with because you just do your thing, stay to yourself, and that's kind of what I do. So
I've had recently I've had probably 3 people stay at my house for duration of a week, maybe more. I didn't see any of them a single time. And they asked me, they're like, hey, you want to go do something? I'm like, no, I don't. So maybe I'm a bad roommate because of that, but also it's like I don't
no, you're just actually just a bad person. But
yeah, I'm just a piece of shit. But like I don't cause any issues. I'm in my room, my door is closed, I don't leave it. If I see you when I go out to get a water, hey, good morning, anything cool happened today? No? All right. And I go back in my room.
Okay. Who do you think was the person that it was the most awkward having them stay with you?
Oh, I'm not gonna call out names.
Okay. Fair.
I have had people stay at my house and it has been horrendously awkward. Like I've had people of us like, hey, can I stay at your house? And I say, oh yeah, sure, you can have a place to stay. Like I got a room, do what you want, and do your thing, right? Give you a nice bed to sleep in. And they stay over, but they're under this impression that like I'm gonna take them around Austin, we're gonna hang out every day. And me and Nick both call it the Nick and Soda treatment. You get that's what we do. Like
you get a place to stay, and that's about it.
I'm giving you a room.
Yeah.
Like you do that, but like I'm not giving you my time.
It's like the opposite of a bed and breakfast. Basically.
Yeah. And I've had a lot of situations where like that has turned into a pretty awkward situation, and I'm like, listen, I don't know what you expected.
You don't have to say names, but have you ever had someone that like kind of expected you to do that, and then like you didn't, and then they kind of like bugged you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they have. I've looked back and I've talked with Nick. Nick and I have talked like, are we just pieces of shit? And Nick would respond and be like, you know what, if we are, it's not our problem. It's like, I don't know. Is that fucked?
No, hold on.
Is that fucked up?
Imagine if all people said that. Are we pieces of shit? I don't know. It ain't my problem, though. That's their motherfucking problem.
Like,
I don't care if I'm a piece of shit. It ain't affecting me. It's affecting you.
I'd feel bad if I said, hey, you want to play? It's like, hey, you have a place to stay? Like, yeah, sure. Like, hey, you think we go get like dinner and I'll do all? I'm like, yeah, of course. And they show up, and then I don't do it, but I don't do that. They said, can I have a place to stay? Yeah, sure. You can stay here, and you can leave and come and go as you want. Here's the door code. Here, order food. Do what you got to do. It's a hotel. All right, but I'm streaming. Stay the fuck out of my room. And when I'm not streaming, honestly, stay the fuck out of my room still. And that's it.
Fair enough.
So, I don't
Zero
care.
expectations. Yeah.
That's how I am.
The thing is, most of the time that it's got to be different for you because people are gonna sometimes come and hang out with you like expecting like content, like expecting to stream. When I have a friend say that they want to come stay with us, it's really to hang out.
Yeah.
Like with me. So it is pretty much expected for me to at least hang out with them most of the time.
Uh-huh.
Every once in a while, when we were in that other first house when I was actually streaming a lot, yeah, people would come stay. Did the same thing you did. I'd just be like, hey, I'm doing my thing. You do whatever you want. You can join us if we go out, but that's it.
Yeah. I mean, you're right, I guess. It's just a matter of like, I guess people so okay, let's look at Ms. Kiff, right? If I was Ms. Kiff and someone said, hey, can I come stay at your house? If I put myself in Ms. Kiff's shoes, I'd be like, okay, so they're wanting to come over and do content because whenever people do go to Ms. Kiff's house, they do go on stream and they do tons of stuff. But if you expect that from me, what the first of all, I have purposely not put an extra chair or anywhere to sit in my room so people get uncomfortable and leave. That's strategic.
Yeah. Strategic.
Yeah, it is. I'm not kidding. I have a row machine. I stopped using it. I used it for a while because like, let's be healthy. Camp Canute got me off, whatever. I have put
Wait, you did Camp Canute?
No, but watching it made me feel like a bitch, right? Because I'm not doing anything.
Same.
Right?
We worked out
I started working
during
out,
Camp
yeah.
Canute and stopped as soon as it was over.
Why'd they stop? They screwed everyone up. Everyone was so healthy, and then they stopped. Anyways, I put it next to my bed, and so when you sit on it, you have nowhere to put your legs because it's in the way.
Yeah.
So you can't even sit on my bed comfortably. So my room is don't get out of my room. So again, if people expect to hang out and do content with me when they come into my house, that's their problem, their fault.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny you actually brought that up. I was watching Miz, and he was actually mentioning like why he loved Canute, and he said because Canute came, did the content, hung out, and then said later and left me alone.
Yeah.
I think Miz probably hates like hanging out after the content's done. He just wants to relax, take
absolutely.
some time to himself, and just chill. I saw him talking about that, and that's why he loves Canute because
Yeah.
Canute's like we did our shit later.
Yeah, did his thing. I mean, I can't speak for him. I just put myself in I put myself in his shoes. I'd redo. I could not do what he does. Oh God, he has someone new in that room every day. I'd hate everything. It'd be terrible for me.
I don't know if you can talk about this, but didn't you have like an opportunity to do something with Snoop Dogg,
Yes,
and you just didn't do it?
didn't feel
I'm
like it.
so mad at you.
There was multiple opportunities with multiple people. There was one with Shaq. Didn't feel like it. Snoop Dogg didn't feel like it. Who's the guy that did? I want to say that Bright Lights, that new song.
The Weeknd.
The Weeknd. Yeah, he was at a thing recently. I could have went and hung out with him.
Yeah, I don't feel like it.
I think that was when Classic came out. CBA.
See, that makes sense.
I'm not going. I remember my manager and my brother Ryan. Ryan actually came to my room. Was like Chance, like I obviously don't know how much you care about this game, but I want you to understand what you're saying.
doing. Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, I don't need the Weeknd. I don't.
Right.
I'm good. I'm on track. And I'm good with maintain. I just want to maintain. I don't care to do much more than that.
I can say I've met Snoop Dogg. I booked him
really.
for a show for South by. Well,
Snoop-
I was like one of the promoters for it. There was multiple promoters,
Uh-huh.
so that was fun.
I mean,
I didn't really
that's
get
cool.
to hang out with him though. It was like I said what's up, got to hit a blunt, and that was it.
And the thing is, it's like, being able to say that is cool.
Yes.
But, like, I would not have went, oh, the Weeknd, what's up, bro? Give it, like, no. Snoop
Are
Dogg.
you sure? That actually seems like exactly what you do.
Think so?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think so, considering, if I put myself in their shoes, I wouldn't give a about some stupid-ass streamer kid coming over, trying to be my friend when we're entirely different lines of business, and, like, friendship is not possible, right? It's not. It's realistic.
Right.
So why would I take my day and go do something so worthless?
You know what's crazy though? Like, these people are super famous, obviously. Have you noticed this? But Drake is like super famous, but he like fanboys more than anyone. Have you noticed this? I don't know if you've noticed this, but I see him at like basketball games, all excited to meet people. And have you not noticed? Has anyone else noticed that? He's
No.
like, dude, I swear he fanboys for like athletes and other people.
Really?
Have you ever been starstruck by anybody?
Yeah, Reckful. When I first met Byron, because I straight up, him and I had a very, very in like long conversation. But when I first met him, and I remember he complimented how him and I met. He was like, "You're really good at meeting people for the first time," because he's like, it's such a Byron thing. He's like, "It was really, really smart for you to go in for a hug right away. Really broke the ice." I'm like, who breaks down these social interactions?
That is so funny.
Yeah.
When I was working for him, he literally just called me one day and was like, "Razor, I just want to let you know you're really good at your job."
Yeah.
Like, and he's so complimentary. He would make you feel so good.
Yeah. He was good at that. And, I met him at a Rudy's. I think Venruki was there. Talbadar was there. Jaxery was there. No, she wasn't. I think it was just them and Tosan. That's who it was. A bunch of WoW players, because I lived at a place called the Skill Capped House. And I was starstruck because all of these people, when I was playing World of Warcraft, I was fanboying over seeing their characters in-game. So just to give you an idea, seeing all of them in person, I'm like, holy f***. And I was telling them, I was like, dude, you're Reckful. They're like, okay, but you're Sodapoppin. Like, you get more viewers. Like all of them at the time, besides Reckful, were getting, I don't know, 500 viewers, 200 viewers. Like, they were still working on making PvP videos to pay bills, essentially. And I'm like, oh, I've had Rookie. And they're like, dude, you get 10,000 viewers. What are you doing? Shut the f*** up. I'm like,
man, sometimes it's about just the passion that you have. So
and so I fanboyed over all of them. I fanboyed over meeting Swifty, just like WoW legends, essentially. Just people who had big footprints in the World of Warcraft world.
Okay, in the World of Warcraft world, out of all those people, who do you think had like the biggest impact on you, or like influenced you, or
in the World of Warcraft world?
Yes, like person or streamer.
Reckful. No, yeah, Reckful for sure, because him and I competed for a long time.
Yeah,
like we were neck and neck view count. He beat me for the longest time, and him and I never talked. This is why meeting him for the first time was such a big deal, because him and I were view count competitors, and we both cared immensely.
Yeah,
I remember the first day I beat him in viewer count, and people were like, "Oh, they're just playing WoW," but like we're playing the game.
Competing, yeah.
We're playing the game right now. And I remember I did like a level 1 raid, and I only like to do these once a day, and I was like 100 viewers right behind Reckful. I'm like, wait a second, if I did another one just for the shits, I'd pass him. So I did it, and then Reckful did a level 1 raid, and he joined it, and we were like fucking, and I beat him for the first. Me and Nick went and celebrated. And so when I went to visit Byron, or the Skill Capped House, right? I wasn't going just to visit Byron. It was really cool because our first interaction was talking openly about that sort of competition that him and I were having. We weren't talking to each other about it. We weren't talking to anyone else about it, but we were having that competition. So we had like this long car drive where we talked really honestly about it. And it was just one of the great, I'll never forget that conversation. So it's really cool. Now I fanboyed over him, and we had some really strong heart-to-hearts. It was good.
I mean, I knew Byron really well, basically just through you, but the one thing I will never forget is the last thing he said to me, and this will stick with me partially because of what we just talked about before, but he said I was one of the nicest people that he had ever met and talked to. And that was the last thing he ever said to me, and that like just stuck with me. And like, even before he passed, it was still sticking with me.
Yeah.
And then that just made it, like, magnified it. So that's the last thing he said to me.
Byron definitely had, a lot of his ups and downs, but he was not afraid to just give straight up, full, blunt compliments.
Yeah.
That's something a lot of people don't do. Mm-hmm. He does. He's very not afraid to say it. With that being said, it goes the other way.
Yes.
So loved him to death. But I was one of the most interesting people. So I don't know.
In Everland, your NPC was going to be a vampire hunter.
I don't know if you knew this, but he was writing.
Yeah. You worked for Everland for a bit.
Yeah. You were going to be, your NPC was going to be like, not necessarily a vampire hunter, but like that sort of archetype. Like you're going to be like a main NPC.
Is there any possibility for it to like still be made, or is that no?
I mean, I don't want to like say too much about it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
But like, all I'll say is that so like all the heart of it wouldn't be there. Like,
right.
Also, I mean, all the workers have just moved on. Like,
yeah.
Talbadar works at Blizzard now. Like, he would have been a core part of it. Me, I've moved on. There's no way I would have time to do it.
Right.
A lot of people have moved on because people got to pay bills.
Yeah.
They got to do their shit. Makes sense.
Yeah.
There's that like clip of you guys on the bench together.
Yeah.
You ever like go back and watch it, or because I watch that every now and then. Like it's
I
like
have not.
Yeah.
But I do know, I've told myself I will go back to that bench. I forget when he said we should come back to this bench. I was going to go back. Just maybe I'd do a stream, but, you know, I was just going to go back and have some type of spiritual self-reflection moment. That was in Japan, in this area where there's like deer, and they're like part of the community. Like these deer are everywhere. I mean, you see sure, we'll see a deer like on the bus ride to school, right?
All skittish.
But we're talking like these motherfuckers know how to use the crosswalk, and like they know what a red light is.
They have names?
They don't have names. I'm sure
they probably
some
do
of them
have names.
But like the entire community is built around tourists coming in for these deer. Like every 20 feet, you've got a place to buy food to feed the deer, little crackers and stuff like that. You can just give it to them. So just to give you how many deer there are. And there was just this beautiful little kind of mini pond, and then a lake by the pond. And then we got there, and Byron, being the way he is, you know, said some, you know, very over the top thing like, you know what? We should come back here one day. It was very, very much puts you on the spot. He was very good at doing that. And, you know, of course, you know, he recently passed, and people saw that clip, and they're like, you know what? You should. And we were already going to do it. Him and I even talked afterwards, like, you know what? Let's come back. Let's do another Japan stream on that time. I think it was like 10 years after. I forget how long. He's like, let's come back to the bench.
I think if I remember right, he says something, we should come back here when we're old and not streaming anymore, or something like that, or
yeah, something like that. So I mean, I just put a decade in my head, you know, as not like as the number, but around that time, something like that. I was gonna go back. This is a spiritual moment, just me. Yeah, you know, maybe I'll go with people. Let's go with Vicky, right, to Japan. So I'm not gonna try and make some crazy big streamer event out of it. Maybe I will, because it might as well not, you know. Going to that bench for that day, that's a day. But you don't fly overseas and just stay there for a day and then fly back.
Right.
So
I don't know if you can talk about this, but is there like any updates on like when you'll get to see her?
Vicky?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna talk about it on stream.
Okay, fair enough. I wasn't sure.
Stream.
Fair enough. Yeah, I lost my train of thought.
We got into the Byron thing. You get emotional. You know?
Yeah,
it's
And I honestly, like, I feel like I don't have much of a right to even talk about it. I can like say like his last words to me, but like I didn't know him well enough like you did. You knew him better than I did, so like I almost feel like guilty talking about it. You know.
I've had conversations with people. I don't like. I mean, this is a time and a place, right? It's a podcast where you talk openly, you know.
Right.
But on my stream, for example, you know, someone will donate or talk to chat, like, hey, how do you talk about Byron? I want to talk about Byron, and I'm like, no, this isn't. No, not right now. Like, and they want me to do it every day because like they just saw some videos, like, hey, I want to talk about Byron. Can you make the whole stream? No, not right now. But in a podcast, yeah, I'll talk about it openly. You know, it happened. It happened.
Right.
To pretend like it didn't. Because, you know, for the sake of, you know, of emotions and no.
What was your favorite part in Japan when you guys went?
I wouldn't say, if I had to think of my favorite moment in Japan.
Yeah.
At the time, I would say my favorite moment, it might have been drifting. That comes to mind really quickly, but there was so many.
Wait, drifting?
Yeah, so
I didn't see all of it. What do you mean drifting?
We went drifting. We were just walking around, and I forgot his name. I feel so bad, but he was another content creator himself. He's like, listen, hey, I know all the people that drift here in Japan. I can get you guys. And we went to this big event. We're just in Japan. You just walk everywhere, right? You don't like, oh, let's get in the drive and drive, 30 miles. We just got on the train, and we ended up at this big drift event, and the guy's like, yeah, we'll get you in. So we just skipped the whole line, and of course, as we're getting ready to drift, we're waiting for the people currently drifting to finish, and we're just going to skip the whole line. Everyone thinks we're famous as like, we're talking, for all they know, they could have thought I was Keanu Reeves, right? They have no idea. And one lady, this woman was in her 40s, handed me her baby and said, can I take a picture of you holding my baby?
Wow, dude.
There's a clip of it too. I'm like, what? So I did that.
Is that a moment in your career you'll always remember? The first time someone asked you to like hold or sign their baby?
Yeah, but I felt like, what's that? Sign my baby. What's the Will Ferrell movie?
Yeah, Anchorman. Is it Anchorman? No.
Maybe it was Anchorman. Maybe it was the...
No. You're right. It's Talladega Nights.
Yeah, whatever. So the thing is, she has no idea who the hell I am. And I thought that was so funny.
Did you sign her baby?
No, but I took a picture with it and I smiled. I was like, okay, whatever, the thumbs up.
Wow.
So, and then we went drifting and that was cool. But my favorite thing about Japan was simply just the fact, and it wasn't all just, hey, vacation, right? It was all about the stream. It's all about making the stream entertaining, doing things that are entertaining for the stream. That's priority number one. But one thing that Byron and I both mutually understood was like, it's also real life and there's downtime and that's just how it is. I appreciated the moments where we were on like a bullet train. We're traveling to a location. We don't need to turn the stream off. We don't need to do anything. Let's just take a nap for half an hour. That's fine.
Yeah, you just kind of just flowed.
Yeah, real. That's real life. And obviously, the people aren't viewers like, man, I really appreciate how real you guys are. But like at the same time, it just was that relief that we're both okay with those moments. Because I don't get that much with other streamers nowadays. Other streamers nowadays, they stress me out because of how stressed they are.
Right.
Like, we need content. We need something going on all the time. And with Byron, we didn't have that. Of course, when we're on, let's do things. Let's make it fun. Let's try to make the whole stream entertaining. But downtime is okay because it happens. Yeah. And that's what I appreciated the most about going to Japan, I'd say. 'Cause I'm so busy these past, the rest of this month. And after that month is Wrath. Oh, God.
Yeah, you're about to be real busy.
I know.
Are you excited for Wrath?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
I'm excited. I'm also a little worried just to see how things go, because our guild is fucking stupid. Bringing back, we have a bunch of GTA RPers playing, and
are you Alliance?
Yeah. I played Horde all of Classic and BCs. It's Alliance. And we did one raid, and Vigors, our raid leader, was very adamant on like, guys, this is not the start. We're just doing this for gear. We're not doing because we're gonna role play and be stupid and dish out punishment pizzas to people in raid. And despite saying that this isn't one of those raids, let's just play it normally, they couldn't help but role play in the middle of the. They couldn't not do it, and the raid took forever. We have one of our players, Burn, started role playing that he broke his leg. And he wouldn't stop roleplay walking. Roleplay walking, you move so slow. So we had to delay everything, every wipe, so he could roleplay walk back. And then he's like, listen, I can't, unless you cast regrowth on my leg, I can't do it.
Dude. So that's funny, though.
That's one person. And this is when we're not starting yet, right? And when we start, not only is there going to be a bunch of role players, but also there's going to be like punishments. So Vigors, our raid leader, has removed VKP. It's called.
He's your raid leader?
Yes.
Nice.
He's removed VKP. VKP is our currency of being able to obtain loot as he sees fit, because I drank an orange soda. You offered me a Sunkist, and I declined it, because if I drank a Sunkist, I would lose gear in the upcoming Wrath of Lich King expansion.
Wait, what?
I'm not allowed to drink orange soda.
Gamified
I'm serious.
life.
That's stupid.
It's really stupid.
And there's a million other stupid things out there that I'm not allowed to do. And it's just, I'm worried because it's just going to be so dumb.
Like what?
Well, okay, if, let's say you mess up. Let's say there's a common mechanic where someone gets a debuff and you have to run out of the raid, right?
Yep.
It's very common. Lots of bosses do that. Let's say you get the debuff and you fuck up and you don't run out of the raid and everyone dies because of you.
Yep.
Now, you're going to have to eat a punishment pizza. Punishment pizza. You go to Domino's.com. We call it Dommies for short. And you have to order an uncut. So you know how you get the slices of pizza? You won't get slices. Uncut. Half of it must be Alfredo sauce. The other half will be buffalo sauce. We'll add anchovies, and you're gonna have to eat it.
That sounds great.
And we're gonna wait. We're like, raid's gonna take all day. Like it's easy content. It's not hard, but there will be the occasional fuck ups. And that's what Wrath of Lich King might end up being. I'm not trying to like.
Dude, I want to see you eat this pizza, dude.
I'm not gonna eat it.
Yep, you're going to.
I'll leave the raid. Also, I won't up. Right. I'm worried that everyone in like our whole guild, they're all new. Like I'm gonna sound egotistical. I'm very good at the game.
Well, I mean,
but
it would be concerning if you weren't.
Yeah, you're right. Everyone else is new. They're just gonna be bad. Oh. So I'm playing with a bunch of fucking players.
Dude, the thing with raiding though is like, it doesn't matter how long you've been playing the game. If you're just a good listener and you know, like, just pay attention.
They're GTA role players. They don't know how to listen.
Oh, jeez.
It's gonna be awful.
They're gonna slash dance during Hagen.
Yes, they are.
They're gonna say do the Hagen dance. Slash dance.
You're right. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, so that's upcoming on the 26th, I think, and that's gonna be like, I'm worried about it. It's gonna be interesting though.
I mean, it sounds like it'll either be really good or really bad.
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be one or the other.
Yeah, let's get into some other stuff. Austin stuff.
Oh God,
there's a lot of drama lately.
Oh God, here we go.
Okay.
Sorry, chat. Now is where we have to bait LSF clips. So, you know, a lot of going back and forth. I've seen like a lot of negative tweets about like the community here.
Sure.
And me, I'm like, not even. I wouldn't even consider myself like I'm definitely not a full-time streamer. I'm a small streamer, right? I've never felt anyone treat me like because I was a small streamer here. But there's a lot of like things out there.
Sure.
Like saying that like, oh, everybody here is so. Is there something like different going on up here?
Okay, well let's talk about the people that do say those things, right? So I mean, XQC streams 25 hours in a 24-hour day, so he doesn't have time to actually make a lot of friends. Especially like when he lived in Austin, he moved away, but when he was here, so I don't know like where you can even have an opinion on any of that
Didn't
stuff.
he say he wasn't going to shit camp because you weren't going?
He did.
Or is that not true?
He did. I wonder. I don't know his reasoning entirely for it. That was just weird. That wouldn't be the first time he's decided to just not go to something that he committed to. I told the reason I couldn't go was I have a lot of contractual hours I have to get in. Plus Wrath came out. Right. I just don't have time to take off an entire week. That's no secret. All my viewers know I have hours I have to make up. And also, Wrath is coming out. So I told him way before, hey, I'm not going. I'm sorry. Like, I want to say, like, months before. But he just suddenly didn't go. That was weird. Like, but it wouldn't be the...
I don't know where I heard it, but I heard someone just say that he said, oh, Soda's not going? Nah, I don't want to go anymore, or something.
And in my opinion, it is wrong for him to have done that.
Mm-hmm.
But also, it is like the 50th time that he's done it. So it comes a point where it's like, you know what? Never expect him to be anywhere he says he's going to be. Like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, whatever. What is that saying? Right? So
can't get fooled again.
Whatever the hell it was,
That's
right?
The saying.
And it's like, it's not like it's 2 times. I can think of like 5 off the top of my head. And you go back to the subject of like everyone Austin drama. Everyone's so bad. Everyone's so evil. There's some, like I mentioned earlier, there are people that have been upset they weren't invited to parties, like even at my house and other people's houses, and they're like, well, you were there. I'm like, yeah, but I didn't do the inviting.
Yeah.
Right? And so they feel left out, and then maybe they get emotional or in the moment, maybe they're drunk, I don't know, right?
Yeah, we have
and they send out a tweet, and then of course people take that tweet and they take a lot from it, subtweeting, things like that goes on all the time. But I mean, it's just, that's just not the, I don't know.
Yeah, because I was thinking that I think we probably throw more parties than anybody in Austin.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And
for the most part,
a lot of people come to them. Doesn't matter how big or small of a streamer. You know, there's people we've had to ask not to come anymore because they were weird towards people or whatever.
God.
Or any numerous things, right?
And the thing is, those people, I mean, those people that are so weird, like the people that really are, like, in my opinion, deserving of the comments, no one in this stream even knows who those people are.
Right.
They're like they get like 50 viewers maybe.
That's what I'm saying is the viewers kind of see like one view, right? And then like, but there is also there's all these social dynamics. There's probably 200 plus streamers here.
So many.
Yeah, there's so many.
And but they're just not mainstream, right?
Yeah, and they're, you know, and we're all friends with you. Like, I feel like I'm friends with a lot of people that like would never recognize me on like some of these other streams, and I don't really care, you know. So I'm just curious, like where do you think this came from? Like that some people were like, oh yeah, it's super toxic. It's, you know, they're all like backstabbing each other or whatever.
If I've picked up anything, I have seen so many streamers that lash out and say things like that, and it all, you know what it really stems down to? View count. View count. If it goes down, so many times where someone's just not getting as many views or someone else is getting more views, and they just lash out and say something stupid that's just not true because I don't know.
Man, I've gotten along with like I feel like almost everyone in Austin except like a very select few. So it's hard for me to. I mean, I feel like everyone's a pretty decent person for the most part, you know, like. Well, so it's hard for me. I mean, obviously you can be count and that's gonna happen, but it's hard for me to just like imagine them caring, I guess.
What do you mean?
Like getting like upset about something and then saying something, you know, out of the blue because their view count's going down. It's just hard for me to imagine anyone that I know doing that.
It's different when you're on stream and you've got, you know, tens of thousands or thousands of people sitting there talking, and you know, you're their streamer and they want you to be the cool person. You're the one who wins. You're the one who's right. And of course, you know, everything's just a little bit more embarrassing when you've got people that are willing to laugh at you at one of your losses. So when you throw those dynamics into it, you may be a nice, great person, but you're gonna be envious. You're gonna be a bit of a bitch. You're gonna be a bit of a pussy, whatever the right. So that's just kind of how it goes with people. I don't know. I look at streamers. I don't see them as like I would see you, Dustin. I got Dustin, and then I've got DKane, right? And they're just so different people. Right. That's kind of how I view all streamers, because it's just so much easier that way.
So they have like an online persona, and then they have their actual selves.
And I don't like saying persona because they are still themselves on stream for the most part. You know, streamers get so I'm just like I am off stream as I am on.
I feel like most people are, but like the thing is they're themselves, but like over exaggerated.
Sure.
Which they have to.
And
you know?
You're like the millionth person to say that. It's true, but it's like the same thing. Like when we're talking to mom, I don't go to moms and start talking about stream jokes about cum and.
Yeah, you do.
Like, no, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't. Like, if I swear too much, my mom will be like, stop swearing. Does that mean I have a persona, or am I fake around my mother? No. When you're on stream, you are subjected to be entertaining and fun, the most enjoyable version of yourself for that situation. So, and
they're both you.
Yeah, they're still
like,
you.
You know, normies have a work them and when they get home them. So it's two different people, right?
I guess. But it's like, God, I see streamers get so defensive. I'm like, now I start questioning, like, you're so defensive about it.
But kind
of, why is that? Yeah, why is that?
Speaking of though, like personas versus.
I know where we're going.
Do you think? And Chad is begging for this, so.
I know where we're going.
All this stuff with like with Greek, he kind of like took this Andrew Tate route.
Yeah.
You know, you were living with him not too long ago, maybe like a year ago or less.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, do you think it's real? Do you think it's an act? Do you think he really feels that way? Do you think it's for clicks?
And if you don't feel like answering?
It's unfortunately sad and real, I think. Yeah. I really do. Because if you were to, I mean, there's things that Greek has said and done, in my opinion, that could justify him being dumb enough to think that doing all of this fake is good, right? But I don't think he's. I look at the things okay, so if he were to be faking all of these weird takes and persona like this, the way he is, right? He'd be doing it because it'd be beneficial to him.
Mm-hmm. That's what we're asking.
But it's not. I could see a world where he's being so dumb that, you know, he just doesn't put together that it's not working. But I don't think that's the case. I think he really does truly believe and act the way he's portraying how he is right now, for sure.
Do you guys still talk?
No. There was, oh man, that's oh God. There was I don't want to talk too much.
Yeah,
about
if you don't feel like it, then
you don't have to go too in depth.
I will say I have not talked to Greek since he left. I have not. There was a time where when he left, I thought I was talking to him because there were some issues with phones. So he was on our phone plan, right? And he left, and I think, we kicked him off the phone plan, and he was like, listen, I need to get my phone working. Okay, understood. He actually got someone else to pretend to be him to talk to me to help fix his phone.
Why?
And I didn't know that I wasn't talking to him. I was like, oh yeah, sure, okay, let me help you out, because like that makes sense. Like, let's be adults and move past this and all that jazz. I wasn't even talking to him. He got someone else to talk to me for him. It's weird as right. So that whole situation was weird.